You like it?
That's it.
Ted Cruz, someone to watch out for or wacko bird? So, before Ted Cruz became senator, his only political experience was serving on George W. Bush's election campaign, which is why it's pretty surprising that he won senator like on his first try. So using his father's American Dream backstory, his history of successful law cases as Solicitor General, and his brash, persuasive, ideological speeches, he managed to snatch victory from the incumbent and win a seat as Texas Senator in 2013. Because Cruz hasn't been a senator for very long, he doesn't have too much power in Congress. But he does serve on a large number of committees, including Special Committee on Aging, Committee on Armed Services, Committee on Commerce, Science and Transportation, Committee on the Judiciary, Committee on Rules and Administration, and Committee on Rules and Administration. However, this is quite he does have one important committee on his list, Committee on Armed Services, but otherwise he doesn't do much important stuff. So, on the informal side, Ted Cruz is hugely popular with the Tea Party and Republicans, disappointed with current leaders for their inability to advance the Republican agenda. He's also really popular with other social conservatives because he has an extremely socially conservative stance on everything, pretty much. He is really famous for being able to play to the crowd. He's a hugely persuasive speaker with his ardent religious conviction and his anti-governmental image. He's one of us. He'll fight those namby-pamby politicians for our rights, is the image he creates for himself. He plays the outside game really well, which means that he can gain supporters and woo the crowd really, really effectively, even if he's not saying much. So far in the Senate, though, he hasn't done much. He's sponsored many bills, and of the freshman senators had the most leave committee, but they were all pretty insignificant except for the defund Obamacare bill, which probably won't get passed anyways. Overall, though, he was pretty highly ranked as a freshman senator in terms of activity. More recently, though, he's been in the news for calling last-minute vote to stop the omnibus bill, based on the constitutionality of funding Obamacare. He was on the news for a failed filibuster for another attempt to vote Obamacare as unconstitutional. And he tried to call Obama's Immigration Act unconstitutional and called a last-minute vote to see if that was unconstitutional. He failed pretty miserably on a vote of 22 to 70-something. But, and his actions actually helped advance the Democratic agenda, pushing forward a few of Obama's nominations for governmental positions. Through his newsworthy shenanigans, he actually managed to make pretty much everyone in the Senate hate him. Which is where I thought that wacko bird, John McCain, actually called him a wacko bird. So Ted Cruz does actually have some good points. He graduated top of the class at Harvard Law, refused to study with anyone who didn't graduate from Harvard, Princeton, or Yale. He's been consistent in his ideals and stances, at least, and rather vocal about them too. He's both publicly and actually unwilling to compromise, making average citizens love him, but his senators hate him. This same inability to compromise keeps him from drafting a bill that could gain Democratic support, or doing anything important, really. He's inexperienced in politics, and he's pretty extreme, as you can see from the picture. Rather than getting things done, it seems like everything that's landed him on the news is meant to help him gain attention and supporters, which actually has been pretty effective. All of his colleagues hate him, Democrats and Republican senators alike. And as for his support base, although he's really effective at attracting Republicans and Tea Partiers, he has no way to gain Democratic or Green Party or Socialist support. And I'd say overall, Ted is a wacko. I think his rapid rise to power can be attributed to the fact that he was running for Texas senator, and the cases he successfully defended were on the constitutionality of having under God be in the Constitution, the constitutionality of having the 10 Commandments being written on one of the Texas monuments, and successfully defending the constitutionality of the Second Amendment. So far he hasn't done much, and he doesn't seem to plan to do anything plausible. Lastly, he doesn't cooperate well, and it's likely that if he were to run for the Republican presidential candidate, his own party would speak out against him. So someone to watch? Well, he could be. He has the skills and the intelligence to be. But right now, he's like the Britney Spears shaving her head of Congress.
Wow.